Good morning, traders. Manny Cabrera here from MDC Trading Academy with today's pre-market forecast for Friday, March the 20th. Let's take a look at our news items for this week. What we have left for today, actually, nothing on the docket for today, but it's been a really busy week between Fed announcements, President Trump speaking, press conferences, you name it, we've had it. We have some negative information coming off some of our key reports, and it's obvious is the effect of the coronavirus. Again, this is where the reality of perception, it's the new reality right now. So eventually we are going to take an economic hit here, even though this wasn't caused by an economic fallout. It's simply just panic out there and trying to stay safe from this virus, and it's going to take an effect. So it's going to take a little while for us to climb out of here. Let's quickly jump to our analysis with our daily chart here. We're beginning to see a new pattern develop here in our markets, and we can see it here. We're kind of consolidating here. This low here, this blue line here that you see here, that's the December 18th low. That's the December 18th low. And we're just congregating right around there, if you notice. It's kind of like we've had a couple of days that we're just right around that level right here. So we had our kind of like a trend line that was kind of combining all of these. So we've kind of broken out of there. But if you notice, we're kind of, and we had a little trend here forming to the upside. So we can see a break so far through this level. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to sustain. It just means that it's doing something a little bit different. You know, we've had these flags, we've seen the breaks. Here we have this channel, we're breaking out this channel. We had a lot of coming bottoms here with that low of December. We broke through a few times, couldn't remain below there. And now the market looks like it's recovering a little bit. Our volume is still incredible at 2.6. Highest ATR I've ever seen in my life at 165, guys, 165. We're talking about normally having an ATR between 20 and 35. You were talking about 165. The ranges are absolutely insane in this market. Today's no exception. There you go. Your high is 24.99. Your low is 23.30. 70, almost 170 points. So it's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive what's been happening with this market. But this makes, creates several challenges. This market is tough to trade. I've been speaking to a lot of my colleagues that do swing trading. Some of them do long-term trading. They're getting beat up with their stops. I mean, you have to assume risk when you're trading. Here in the Trading Academy, we trade with a fixed stop, so we have to really become sharpshooters. We're looking for specific entries at specific levels at specific times. And it has to be just that way. Otherwise, we don't participate, because otherwise we're getting blown. Our stops are getting blown. Now, we may get 2 or 3 trades that may blow up. Our stops may blow up. Our stops are small, but our risk reward is it's 1 to 6, 1 to 8. So even if we have 4 or 5 trades not work out with small losses, we still have obviously the one that's going to take us out of the hole, because it gives us a lot more reward. So just keep that in mind as you're trading these markets. If you're trading these markets, remember the volumes have increased dramatically. So this is the way of brokers and letting us know this is not something that you want to be too involved in. So just be careful with these types of markets. The settling will happen. Just relax, just be patient. Let's look here at one of our other time frames here, so we can give this a little bit more perspective. If you can see, this is where we came from. We came from way up here, way up there. We're from way up here, and we've had these drops. These drops are just drops, and then we have support and resistance, and then we're expecting a break up or a breakdown. This time it broke down. Now we're coming right back down here again. There's a drop here, and there it is. It's between resistance and support. Here's our oscillations, expecting either to run down or break up. It broke down temporarily. Now we find ourselves up here again. Here's where we find ourselves on a larger time frame here. Smaller than the daily, but bigger than the one that we normally use, just to give you a little perspective where the market is moving. Now it looks like these nice little trends to the upside. They look healthy, but they're very treacherous, simply because of those huge swings at key levels. So be careful with those. Again, I can't stop mentioning that, because that's truly what's making this market move, and it's just getting to those key pivot areas. Here's today's market here. I think I'm just marked the wrong way. But that's essentially where we are right now. Market is obviously attempting to reach the intraday high right now. We're in between. This is an in between day for us. We're literally sitting between yesterday's high and yesterday's low, and the market is attempting to make a run. You can't see it too clearly here. Let me show you my trade chart so you can really distinguish it. Let's go here, and now we can just jump right back into the trade chart. And there you can see it. There's our run. We broke the intraday high. We're kind of using it as resistance now. Remember, it was resistance to begin with. So we're kind of plodding along in this particular section here. We do have a trend line that's forming right here. Now, these trend lines are not just drawn happenstance. These trend lines are drawn based on price action in our formula that we use to make that type of determination. But there's a very clear compression in the market, and obviously what we're expecting is the market either to break through this level or to break through this level. This is our north-south line at this point in reference to buying the market, buying the dips, and if it breaks down here, of course, you have to buy the pullbacks. Okay, so this is where we are today. Just be very careful. Again, the volumes have been very, very, very high, and the action has been very, very ferocious. So be careful today, and hey, have a great session and a super weekend. Take care of yourself.